Okay, welcome to my new channel, Curious Palmist. Today we're looking at the four main lines in palmistry. So let's begin. Here we have the lifeline. So this typically would start in this position and typically would end in this position. You want to see a nice, long, clear, unbroken lifeline. You don't want to see any breaks or anything like that, because they are obviously going to impact the life in some way. Inside the lifeline, you have all of this area here. This is called the Mount of Venus. This is to do with your vitality, your health in general, your desire, your power, your basic life force is inside the Mount of Venus. This is also here. It's to do with Mars. It's to do with your aggression, and also the inside of your lifeline, the Mount of Venus, is also really to do with the family. Okay, so if we move on now to the second line, major line, we have the fate line. The most common one starts in the bracelets down here. Typically would start at the bottom. This one is a nice long straight one, as you can see. It might stop at the headline. It might continue up to the heart line, or it might end up on the mount. Let me just draw that slightly more clearly. A typical one would go up to this area. This area here is the mount of Saturn. Equally, it could go, let's just do this in red again. It could go, your fate line could be just in little lines like this, little broken lines. Not a particularly good thing to have. It means that you have success, but not a continuous success. So periods in your life would be broken by periods of a lack of success. Some people also call this fate line the money line. So this could also impact you financially if you had a line like this. The ideal line would be a nice, clear, unbroken, and going to the mount of Saturn. This would be an ideal one. Another one that's common, it doesn't always start here at the bottom. Sometimes it will start here in this area, which is the Mount of Luna. So you might have a line that would go up here, past your headline, past your heart line, and then like this. This is more to do with people who are in the public eye, or who work with people. It could be teachers, lawyers, doctors. It could also be actors, musicians, people who depend on others for their livelihood. It's often been historically also been associated with women, a woman coming into your life who impacts your life in some way. So that's the fate line. The third line, the major line, is the headline, which goes here and typically joins here at the beginning of the lifeline. It doesn't have to, but if it does, depending on how far along the lines it goes here, is to how closely you are involved with your family from a young age. So it could be the first 10, 20, 30 years of your life, depending on how closely connected the headline and the lifeline are. If they are separated like this, they are not connected to the lifeline, this denotes someone with a much more independent outlook on life, someone who's not dependent on others for the decisions that they make. And they tend to be much more action-based people, doers. They tend to think less and do more. So more independent thinkers, when it's clearly separated here from the lifeline. The headline and the lifeline are clearly separated at the beginning. And the last of the four main lines is the heart line. Typically starts here and would go up to the Jupiter Mount. This is the Jupiter Mount here, and this is your Jupiter finger. It doesn't always go there. Sometimes it will go to more closer to the Saturn finger or the Saturn mount. This is your Saturn mount, and this is your Saturn finger. So again, ending up in different places. We're going to look at these in the coming weeks. We're going to look at the differences and what they mean when the lines end on different mounts. So here we have the heart line. So that's the basic lesson for today. I didn't want to keep it too long. I want to try to keep it just to be short videos. Obviously, as always, for any of these videos that you're going to see from me, please like or share and subscribe. And if you have any questions about anything that I've presented here, do please put your comments in the section at the bottom of the video. Thank you very much.